What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Bird Watchers podcast. We're here with Bossie, my boy Martinez, and today we're going to be doing a little brief overview of Week 3 football and a little look into Week 4 as well, because we got some good games coming up this week, and we also had some crazy games that just happened. We're going to keep this episode short, not too long, so without further ado,
What are we starting off with?
let's go over just a couple games that happened last week that were kind of fucking nuts.
Okay.
First one that comes to mind is the Jaguars and the fucking Chargers.
Yeah, that shit's ridiculous.
38-10.
Jags look like new Jags, you know what I mean? Yes.
Jags are one of those teams that everyone shits on, but they're kind of looking hot this year.
I feel like they always have games where they look like they can be legit.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, you just never know. Like, they always usually just go down, like, spiral down throughout the season. But I think now, like, Trevor Lawrence is finally stepping into that. So this game against, I think they're playing. What team are they?
I think they're playing the Bills.
They're playing a good.
They're playing a good team. The Chiefs? No.
No.
I saw it earlier that they're playing a good
team.
And I feel like they're going to win that game.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to. Oh, no, they're playing the Eagles.
Is it the Eagles?
It's the Eagles.
So they're playing.
Should be the Eagles.
They are playing the Eagles, yeah.
I think this is going to be a big game, and I think they can pull off. I think they can pull off a win in this game.
I think it's going to be a good game than people think, but at the same time, the Eagles
But yeah, I mean,
are
Eagles,
still doing it.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, like I said from preseason, my MVP vote, and he's still showing it so far.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert in that game looked like ass.
Yeah.
Didn't look like Justin Herbert.
He was also getting fucked up every
That's true.
time.
And he was
Every
playing
time
somewhat
he tried to
injured, maybe.
Yeah, bruised
But
ribs.
that game, first of all, crazy. Jaguars, who knows what's going to happen with them.
Mm-hmm.
The next game that comes to mind that I think we're going back to the Colts and Chiefs game. The Colts win this one, 20-17 over the Chiefs. Once again, we talked about it last week. We talked about it week 2. Besides that week 1 matchup, Patrick Mahomes has not looked good. He threw 5 touchdowns week 1, and then since then, he's looked mediocre and he's lost to some pretty bad teams.
Yeah, coming off of that loss against the Colts, it's like, how the fuck the Colts are just pulling out.
The Colts have just been losing the bombs, too.
What are we doing? Like, the Colts are just so inconsistent. Like, Matt Ryan is looking so inconsistent, but against the Chiefs, he looked like Matt Ryan, you know what I mean?
Because last week on the podcast, we talked about, it was before the Chiefs matchup, it was a week before that.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the Colts were playing, I think the Jaguars maybe.
Yeah, where they got smashed.
But all we talked about was they're going to kill the Jaguars. Matt Ryan's going to look so good. And then they came out, they looked like shit, and now he puts on this performance
against the Chiefs. Yeah.
So that was a crazy game to watch, and a game most people didn't expect to end that way. My 49ers lost to the Broncos. I don't even want to talk about it. This is another team that we talked about as Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah,
Jimmy Garoppolo
we just got done talking about it too.
And then they lose to the Broncos, who are a very mediocre
I think it's our fault. Every time we try to hype up a team,
we're just jinxing them.
every time we try to hype up a team, they just go bad.
The Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings right away. We
Yeah.
hyped them up, they lost.
Vikings did win against the Lions in
Yeah.
a super close game.
Yeah, we knew that one
was
was
looking
going to be
bad. We called the Vikings in that one.
Yeah.
A couple other games just to mention that are worth mentioning here are the Ravens, and that's only because we knew they were going to beat the Patriots. We both called that, but Lamar Jackson still looking like the MVP. He is the MVP right now. He's playing crazy. Besides that, I think the biggest game, maybe a surprise to people, maybe not, is the Dolphins over the Bills.
Yeah.
Winning that game, beating Josh Allen, and the Tua injury. Or is that the game that already happened?
So
was that Thursday
he did
night?
get injured though. So in that game, he
Oh
did
yeah,
get
so
injured.
that game he got a concussion.
Breaking news literally came out today. They fired the neurologist who cleared him for the game.
Yeah.
They literally just fired him.
So against the Bills, he got what they thought was a concussion, but they were like kind of brushing it off.
They said he was back pain.
They're like, oh, it's back
They
pain.
called back
But
pain.
if you watched it, you could clearly tell like that dude's fucked up.
Yeah.
And then going into, that'll be our last game we talk about for now, for week 3. Going into week 4, the Thursday night game was the Dolphins-Bengals, and Tua got destroyed.
Yeah.
On top of the who knows how serious concussion he just had last week. And now, I watched that happen, and I thought he was either going to never be able to walk again, or he was going to be dead.
Yeah, because right when I seen him start throwing up the gang signs.
Dude, he was throwing up crips.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, something's definitely wrong. Like, this guy's not.
That was insane, but Bengals win that game.
I think if Tua stayed in though.
Tua stayed in, they have a chance.
Yeah, I think they win that.
Because he didn't play the second half, but
Teddy
Bridgewater didn't look bad to me.
He had that one fucking 60-yard bomb.
He had a couple.
And I was like, oh shit, they might actually pull this off with Teddy. But
I think overall, he didn't do any worse than Tua would have. He played really well, but he did have a couple plays where you're just like, damn, that's Teddy Bridgewater for sure. But going into week 4, just talking about the games coming up, what we think. We'll keep this nice and short. We already talked about Bengals-Dolphins. Bengals win that one. First game on here is the Vikings-Saints. I believe they're playing in London. Yeah. So that's going to be at 3:30 a.m. for us. Probably not going to watch that one.
Probably sleep through that one.
But yeah, I think the Vikings, just took down the Lions, who may not be the best team in the NFL, but have looked good. Every week they're putting up 35 points. So I think the Vikings are going to beat the Saints pretty easily. I'm pretty sure. Did Jameis Winston get injured?
He's not getting injured, but he's just playing like shit.
He's playing like shit? Did Michael Thomas get injured again?
No, it was Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry who went down. But I think they cleared him for this game.
And Kamara has yet to have a good week yet.
Nah, he's still not looking like coming off of that injury. It takes it's just taking him time to get back into that process. So I got the Vikings taking that one as well.
Yeah, Vikings easy. Seahawks-Lions.
I think Lions are about to.
Might be a good game.
I think Lions are gonna have a frenzy.
We had last week's game, Seahawks, that Geno looked good again. This is like the 3rd straight week that we're like, oh, let's see if Geno keeps it up. But he threw for like 325 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I just still don't
So he's still looking good though. So I think that's gonna be a better game than people think. And also to keep in mind, DeAndre Swift is not playing.
Fuck.
But Jamal Williams
is solid though. That's true.
Serious.
That's true. I forgot about him.
He scores all the touchdowns anyway when DeAndre Swift is playing.
Anytime they get in the red zone, they put him in.
So that's going to be a good game, but I'm going to take the Lions on that.
Yeah, 100%. Jared Goff's looking pretty solid this season.
He is looking good.
He's looking like the Jared Goff who took his team.
But the biggest breakout player, and I can't even say this dude's name, is Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, just a dog.
Yeah, he is a dog. He has a twin brother, too, that plays on Jags. And they scored
Which one?
The first week of the season, they scored at the same time. I don't know the first name.
I feel like it's Marquise. That might not be right.
No.
I know who it is. I know who it is, but I can't think of it. But yeah, so next game up, Jets-Steelers.
Yep.
Another game that has potential to be a good game because it's 2 teams that...
It's 2 trash teams, so
it's
going to be a close game.
2 trash teams, but also been playing better than people expected somewhat. And like we've talked about with the Steelers every week, your team, you never know what you're getting from Mitch Trubisky.
Yep.
And the Jets have been surprising people every week so far. So 100%. I think that game's going to be better than people think, and I'm honestly going to give it to the Jets winning that one.
Honestly,
but I think it'll be close.
Coming in, not having Joe Flacco play, I think it's actually going to help us out because it's going to be Zach Taylor's first game of the season. So honestly, I think we're only going to take this win just because Zach Taylor's going to throw... Or Zach Wilson. I don't know. Zach Taylor. So Zach Wilson, this is his first game of the season, and I think the only way we're gonna pull off this win is because he's gonna look like it's literally just gonna be his first game of the season. He's gonna be throwing off, he's gonna throw off rust and shit, and that's how we're gonna win this game. This is a must-win game for the Steelers, I think as well.
Like I've said every week, you guys just gotta get the ball to Harris.
Yeah,
that's it. Especially the Jets don't have the best defensive line.
If we lose this one, somebody's getting fired.
Somebody's getting fired.
Mitch is out, but no, I think we're going to take this one.
If you lose this one, though, do we see Pickett come in?
100%. If we lose this one, Pickett's coming in.
That would be something for sure.
Yeah. I think if Joe Flacco's playing, they slaughter. I think they slaughter.
Oh, 100%.
Because Joe Flacco's slaughtered.
He's looked good all year.
He looks solid. He's like third in passing yards.
He's 3rd in yards, yeah.
But I'm actually glad Zach Wilson. Zach Taylor. I don't know. Hey, look at Zach Taylor. I don't know who that is.
He was a linebacker in the 80s.
No, he's somebody. I swear he's a real person. But no, Zach Wilson. Thank God he's playing because I think he's gonna throw. I think he's gonna throw 2 interceptions and just have a rusty
game for you guys.
I think he's gonna throw the game, and it's not gonna be really his fault. It's just gonna be him shaking off those early bugs. You know what I mean?
For sure. Next game, I don't really care too much about this one, but it's the Bears-Giants.
Jesus Christ.
2 teams that I don't like watching either of them. I mean, Justin Fields, Saquon, another team. It's probably not going to be a high-scoring game.
No.
I guess I'm going to give it to the Bears.
You're going to give Bears?
I'm going to give it to the Bears, I guess. I mean, they have a good defense. So if they stop Saquon, what else do the Giants really have at that point?
I mean, Daniel Jones looked pretty solid. Even against Dallas, I know that they they kind of got creamed, but like fucking Daniel Jones looks solid when he is.
Zach Jones.
Yeah, exactly. No, but Daniel Jones looks solid when he has time in the pocket, and I mean with Michael Parsons rushing you, like he had no fucking time at all. So I think that's really why they lost that game. But I think they're gonna take the Bears. I mean, Justin Fields has looked like the worst quarterback this season. So.
All right. Next game, Titans Colts. We just talked about Matty Ice.
This one should be a good one.
I think this is the game that we're sitting here, we're talking about
Yeah.
like, oh, Matty Ice is back and forth.
Yeah.
I think he's going to play the Cavs. And
This
I think
game,
we get
yeah,
slaughtered.
could be.
Just because we just saw him beat the Chiefs, that's just Matt Ryan
Highs and lows,
fashion
yep. Highs and
to
lows.
come out and lose to the Titans now.
I mean, I would take Titans anyway, just because Derrick Henry's finally starting to heat up. You've seen it in the last game against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like Derrick Henry's about to hit his stride, and once he hits his stride, the Titans are going to be a solid team again.
Yeah.
So I think Derrick Henry's probably going to rush for 150, and the Colts won't be able to stop him.
Yeah, I'm going Titans as well.
Yeah.
Next game, Chargers Texans.
This is going to be a bounce back game.
I'm gonna go for the Texans.
There's no way. There's no way.
I'm gonna go for the Texans. I'm gonna say this.
Because I'm pretty sure they cleared fucking Justin Herbert.
I don't care if he plays or not.
If he plays, it's
I'm
over.
picking Texans.
There's no
I don't
way.
know why. I just got this feeling.
David Mills. I mean, David Mills is not a bad quarterback.
They got the young running back.
Yep.
They got Mills at QB. I'm taking the Texans.
I like Mills. I really do.
I'm taking the Texans in a slaughter over the 31-10.
There's just no way.
Texans. They shock everyone. I'm gonna go put money on this game tonight just because I'm gonna make such a profit.
I think it's gonna be opposite. I think this game is gonna be a bounce back for the Chargers because they're probably all the players would be pissed they just lost to the Jaguars. Even though the Jaguars is a solid team, but it's like still losing to a Jaguars is still like a shitty thing to say. You know what I mean? So I think they're gonna go in and just wipe the floor with the Texans.
Okay. We got Browns Falcons. Another good game.
Yeah, I think Browns are gonna.
We got Nick Chubb on one end,
Yep.
who's I believe leading the league in rushing
Yeah, he
yards
is.
right now. And then we have Cordell Patterson on the other.
That's also true.
Who's number 3, I think, in rushing yards because he went for 150 last week, his career high, and he's looked so good.
He's like really good this season. Really good. Because he's always that like X factor player where he kind of does a little bit of everything. But now they're really solidifying him in that running back position, and he's putting numbers
The
up.
thing is, I don't think the Falcons trust Marcus Mariota enough yet to pass the ball 40 times a game. And then their best receiver is a young dude in Drake London.
Yeah.
They got Kyle Pitts out there, who's also young in his second year. So their main offense is giving that ball 40 times on the run.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's Cordell Patterson touching the ball a lot. And he's also probably one of their, second, third biggest passing option out of the backfield. So that'll be interesting to see what happens.
Who you got for that one?
I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think Cordell Patterson has another crazy game and Nick Chubb gets stopped.
I think Nick Chubb's probably.
When I say stopped, I mean he runs for like 75.
I think he's running for 150. I mean, I just don't. I think it's gonna be a closer game than what people expect. But I think just because I think all the games out of the Browns are gonna be close games, just because they're just gonna run the ball.
Yeah.
And all games like that, but they're gonna control like the line of scrimmage, and they're just gonna pound the rock, and it'll probably come down to like just the last score, and it's just
Because that's going to be both teams.
Yeah.
They're both running the ball back and forth.
Yeah, so it's
and then if they get stopped and have to go to 3rd and 7, it's going to be one pass play will be a quick 3 and out.
Yeah.
Punt, another team starts running.
Yeah.
So
I got the Browns winning, but I pray the Falcons win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Next up, Commanders and Cowboys.
I think Cooper Rush is probably going to slaughter the Commanders. I'm not even going to lie.
Oh,
Cooper Rush is like solid. He's undefeated still. He's never lost.
This is going to be his first loss right here.
Really?
This week they got a good defense. Chase Young coming at him.
Michael Parsons is about to eat fucking Carson Wentz bitch ass up. Eat him up all day.
I think Carson Taylor's going to be fine in this one.
Carson Taylor. No, I think Carson Wentz is probably going to throw like 2 interceptions to fucking Trayvon Diggs.
That's possible, but I'm gonna take the Commanders in a field goal game.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty close, but I think Cooper Rush gets the job done, stays undefeated, never lost.
Okay. Now a game we talked about earlier, the Jaguars-Eagles.
Yep.
Might be something to watch.
It should be a really good game. I think, like, the Eagles' defense, like, they have such a strong defense, but they just don't have that defense coordinator yet to really put them in the position, because they're still allowing way too many points for the players that they have.
Yeah.
But they do have, like, a lot of young studs, too. But I think this game is really just going to be a shootout. and it's going to come down to. I think the Eagles just have that advantage because they have the running game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They have the number one.
I mean, the Jaguars also got that rushing game. James Robinson rushed for 100 last week, and they still have Travis Etienne.
They do. Yeah, they do have a solid, but you could tell like they rely on Trevor Lawrence. Like Eagles, like if just fucking Jalen Hurts is having a bad game, they can easily rely on the run game because that O line is fucking nasty. Kelsey at center, that guy's a dog.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they pull it off just by.
You're taking the Eagles still?
Yep, I'm taking the Eagles, and I think they pull it off just because I think the passing game's really gonna just like kind of like X each other off, and then the Eagles will just have the run game.
I'm taking the Eagles as well. I'm taking them by 10 points. Jalen Hurts is that dude. That Jalen Hurts is him.
Hey, but
I think he goes for another 300 yards, 4 touchdowns.
this could be the game where the Jaguars fucking solidify themselves and be like, yo, we're here. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, if they win this one, I think they're in the top.
100%.
All right, only a few games left here. We got the Bills-Ravens.
This game I'm excited for.
This
is the first game.
Crazy.
First game tomorrow morning I'm putting on.
These are probably the 2 top picks for MVP right now, Lamar and Josh Allen.
This game's going to be fucking crazy.
It's 7 a.m. game.
Yep.
It's going to be good, dude.
I
think,
I honestly can't pick.
I think I'm going to take the Ravens. The Ravens have been putting 35,
I fucking hope the Ravens don't win.
35 bombs on people.
Yeah,
dude. Lamar's just looked unstoppable.
I think both offenses, though.
I mean,
it's going to be shootout. I think it's going to be whoever gets the ball last.
Josh Allen's Josh Allen, but we just watched him struggle last
He
week.
did struggle, yeah.
So,
I think, and the Ravens play a similar defense to how Miami plays. They like to get up in your face, press you, and blitz you. That's literally all the Dolphins did to Josh Allen.
So who are you taking?
I just fucking hate the Ravens. So it kills me to take them. But I honestly think they'll pull off this one, just because, like that defense. I think that's the defense that can beat Josh Allen, and it doesn't really beat Josh Allen, but it holds him. It makes him get the ball out fast, and his receivers were kind of like breaking down over the game, right? So
That's Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, like they're dogs, but like Miami literally like their DBs were able to stay on the field, and the Bills wide receivers weren't. So I think as long as the Ravens defense can just press them and really force them to fucking either man up and get the job done, because like all the Bills receivers on that last drive were out. Like fucking Diggs went down and then Davis went down. Both of them were just like on the sideline getting their hamstrings. Like this is a fucking moment. Like this is how you win your game, bro. You guys can't be out of the game right now. So
stretched out.
Yeah, like they're getting stretched
rollers.
out, and there's like 30 seconds left. Like give your man some help. You know what I mean? So I think they failed him honestly, but yeah, I got the Ravens.
Okay, next game up, Cardinals-Panthers.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals just slaughter him.
So I got Christian McCaffrey in this game. Fantasy.
He's gonna lock up.
Hoping he runs for 200.
No way.
And then
They don't even be using him. Like I've been watching the Panthers game. It's like,
but this is the game they do. They got it
They
against
should.
the Cardinals.
They should. They
They're
can
gonna have to
100% run against the Cardinals. They can run against the Cardinals.
And then because of a last-minute injury, Keenan Allen not playing this week. I'm starting Greg Dortch in fantasy at receiver. So I need him to cook for the Cardinals. I'm hoping against this Panthers defense.
Yep.
Obviously, Hollywood Brown's been the big dude getting all the receptions.
That's true.
So yeah, I still got the Cardinals win that game.
Yeah, I mean Cardinals all day. I think it's gonna be like a 10 to 24 game. Cardinals.
All right, 4 games left, and the next game is the Broncos and the still haven't won a game Raiders.
Raiders need to make a statement this game. If the Broncos can somehow fucking pull this game off, like the Raiders, like, oh, what are you guys doing?
Once again, last week on the podcast, we talked about our sleeper Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, and
we picked the Raiders.
They haven't even won
and they're the
yet.
only team that doesn't win a game in the NFL, besides another team that has a tie. But at least they have a tie. Might be the Texans.
It is the Texans.
But the Raiders, Broncos, the Broncos just beat the 49ers, who I'd like to think is a better team than the Raiders.
Yeah, 100%.
But obviously Russell Wilson looked
like the 49ers didn't look like the 49ers.
Not at all, dude.
Like, so I couldn't even give that one to the Broncos. That game was fucking stupid.
And it's a game we still should have won.
Yeah, that fourth quarter was just like
10-11.
Are we watching like JV football right now?
Garbage. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Russell Wilson's looked tough all season. Hasn't looked like the Seahawks.
It was like that one drive where Russell actually looked like Russell.
One drive, yeah, that's it.
But I think that came down like the Broncos like coordinator trying to like keep Russell safe or something, because they just like all the plays they're running is just getting the ball out quick. But like Russell made his money on just staying in that pocket, running around, making big plays.
I'm gonna give a hot take right now about this game, and the viewers will see it. First ones to hear it, and we'll look back on it next week and we'll talk about it.
All right.
I think the Broncos-Raiders is going to be the game of the week.
You think it's a crazy game?
I think it goes 38-35. Just a crazy ass game. I think because both these teams got something to prove right now. Both these teams are good teams that could put on a show, and they haven't done that yet. I think this is the game they do it. And I mean, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Devontae Adams.
It should be a crazy
I think
game.
it's going to be a shootout.
That's the thing. Like we expect so much from the Broncos, and we expect so much from the Raiders. If they fucking both play at their potential, like this should be a fucking game of the week. You know what I mean? But just because how like both teams have been playing, like people are sleeping on them. But it's like we can't forget that's fucking Russell Wilson back there. That's Derek Carr with his fucking college buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like should be a crazy game, but I think it's gonna be a snooze fest. Just because like I don't know, these two teams just have.
So who are you taking in that one?
I have to take the Raiders. Like
I'm
if the Raiders,
I'm taking the Raiders as well.
if the Raiders drop this one, it's like you're done. Like 0-4 this season, like in the division that they're in, this is a must-win game
For sure.
for both of them, honestly, because they both.
Yeah.
I think the Broncos are 1-2, and then they're 0-3.
Yeah.
I think this is a must-win game for both of them, division game, and their division's so strong. It's like if you guys want to get into the playoffs with the Chiefs and the Chargers right there, you gotta win this.
I mean, it helps.
You can't go 0-4.
Both those teams just lost a shit team,
It did.
so that does help them.
It did help them.
But they got to pick it up.
I think Raiders lose
got
this one. Raiders lose this one, they're out of the playoffs. That's my hot take right now.
We'll see.
This is my take right now. Raiders lose to the Broncos this weekend. They are not making playoffs.
All right, next game up could be a good one. The Patriots and the Packers.
This should be I think this is going to be a really good game.
We've talked about it every week. I still don't know what is going on with Aaron Rodgers and those Packers because they just play Tampa last week, I think, and they scored it was like 12-10 or something.
Yeah, it was.
And then the week before that, the Packers scored like 12 points. Like, what is going on with these Packers? We talked about their lackluster offense and how Aaron Rodgers desperately needs help. I'm gonna take the Patriots winning this.
I got Patriots too. I'm not even
because
I think Belichick's about to scheme a great plan. Like that defense is gonna bring it. Patriots always has that defensive scheme.
They're always one thing about the Patriots. They're always gonna come and put that big hard D. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Belichick just walks around that fucking 12 inch. You know what I mean? He's just waiting to fucking put it on fucking Aaron Rodgers' face. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I think Aaron Rodgers doesn't have like the weapons that they need, and I think the Patriots know what they can do. They know they can run the ball, and they know they have great defense. So I think that's what they're gonna do against the Packers.
Okay.
And get it done.
We'll see what happens with that game. Next game, another good game. The Chiefs and the Buccaneers.
This should be a really good game.
A Buccaneers is another one of those teams that
Sunday night football.
What the hell are they doing, bro? It's Sunday night football. The Chiefs just looked like ass last week. The Bucs still looked bad last week. Tom Brady is yet to look good. He's one of the lowest rated quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Because the defense is carrying him right now.
They're still missing a shit ton of receivers. Mike Evans is back this week, but what's his name? Chris Godwin is out still.
Poor Chris Godwin. That man's always
Julio
out.
Jones is still out.
Yep.
I mean, Tom Brady has not looked good. This has got to be his last season.
They just signed Cole Beasley.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
He played. He got a couple snaps in the last game, but they didn't really play that much against the Packers because it was like his second day there, and he had like 3 catches. But I'm taking Bucs just because of that defense. Defense is legit. Even against Aaron Rodgers, they held him to like I think it was like the last it was like 20 points. It was like under 20 points that last game. And like Brady honestly should have won that game, but it came down to that 2-point conversion. They kind of got screwed on like a bullshit false start.
So this game, the same thing we talked about with the Broncos Raiders, is either going to be a low scoring, boring ass game, or it's going to be an absolute shootout.
I think this one's
great game.
For some reason, I think this one's going to be a shootout.
This needs to be the game that Brady puts his fucking big boy pants on and shows why he's the GOAT.
I think he is.
And Patrick Mahomes on the other side is like, I'm coming for the crown. You know what I'm saying? So this game could be fucking crazy if these teams show up. But I'm going to take the Chiefs winning this one.
You got Chiefs?
I got the Chiefs, dude.
I
like Patty Mahomes way more than Brady right now.
I do too.
He looks way better. I mean, Brady's not it right now. His head's somewhere else. He's thinking about his wife, leaving him with the kids. He's got too much on his mind.
I know. We got to give Brady some. This motherfucker's going through it right now. He's about to go through a divorce. But I think honestly, against Mahomes, for some reason he just likes to play his best football, and I think he knows this kid's a fucking young GOAT. let me actually try. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna go out there. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but I think Brady gets it done. Last drive,
Okay.
game winner.
All right. We'll see what happens with that game. And the Monday night game. Another one of those games that could be a great game. If Jimmy Garoppolo shows up to the field, we have the 49ers and the Rams. Super Bowl champ Rams.
This should be a good game.
And the 49ers. Now, San Francisco last season,
Mm.
I like to make this point a lot because it pisses me off. Beat the Rams both times.
Yep.
They played them in regular season.
Yep.
We always spank the Rams in regular season. And I think this is going to be another game that we beat their ass in regular season. We don't ever have a problem with the Rams. We always cook them. I think this is going to be the game, hopefully for us, that we finally come out and look like that Super Bowl contender team that we've talked about the past couple weeks. Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, let's at least give him a little bit of a break. He had no intention on even taking a snap.
Yeah, he didn't know
He knew he wasn't playing.
He hasn't been training this whole time with the team. They barely signed him.
I was
watching before week 1.
I was watching clips on Instagram and Facebook of all their training season, like getting ready for the regular season and shit. He's not even practicing with the team. They have him practicing with
They did him dirty, honestly.
They have him practicing with the third string kicker,
just with a coach, just throwing the football.
And the coach just throwing the football. I'm like, dude, and for that being
that's why I couldn't really blame Jimmy against the Broncos. This guy is literally especially against the Broncos defense who usually always brings it. So I couldn't really blame Jimmy for that loss. These fuckers did him dirty.
Give him a couple games.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a couple games.
It's gonna take a couple games. George Kittle is healthy now. Deebo Samuel has been in a slump because he hasn't had a hot couple weeks.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk, still a good receiver.
Dude, guys
we got the team, dude. So I think this is gonna be a good game, and I say we take this game 28-24.
20-24. I think it's gonna be a good game as well. But I think Jimmy just the 49ers did him wrong. I think this is still an early game. And the Rams defense, fuck.
It's gonna be a test.
It's gonna be tough for him, and I just think Matthew Stafford on the other side, they're gonna be able to get it done. I just think it's gonna be a close one, but I think Jimmy's gonna make a mistake in that third or fourth quarter.
Does.
It's usually, but usually your defense can pull one out. But I just think Jimmy's gonna play really mediocre, still warming up. No blame to Jimmy because this motherfucker literally didn't train all offseason, and then they throw him in there, expect him to fucking win these games. And I still think he's gonna play pretty good, but I think he's just gonna make a couple of mistakes that he's not gonna make down the line when he finally gets into the groove of things.
Yeah.
And I think the Rams pull it off. It's probably gonna be a 20-28. I'll take 28-17.
Okay.
It's gonna be a good game though.
So that wraps up the games coming up tomorrow and Monday night.
Yep. The NFL season is just crazy. There's so many good teams. It's
insane.
Now. There's so many good teams. Even though we call these picks and we're so confident in them, it's it could go either way.
So this is exactly something I'll touch on real quick. This is exactly what I said last year. We weren't doing the pod last football season, but I know you and I had a couple talks about how the NFL last year was so crazy in the way that you didn't know who was going to the Super Bowl. You didn't know who was going to win because we saw the same
Bengals.
We saw the same powerhouse team favorites, the Bucks, the Chiefs, the Bills.
Yeah.
Be just busting ass one game and then losing to the worst teams in the league. And this year is so far the same exact pattern. I mean, we've seen the Chiefs lose, we've seen the Bucks lose, the Packers have looked terrible, the Bills have lost to some bad teams.
And it's even these bad teams that are losing, they're losing to great teams, and it's 3-point games. It's there's no blowouts anymore. All the NFL is just fucking stacked right now, and I think it's just gonna keep on getting way more competitive. Even though we talk shit to I said, the Texans gonna be the worst team in the NFL. They're honestly a good fucking team.
Not bad.
Back 5 years ago, they'd probably be a top team.
Back in the Arian Foster days.
It's the teams are just so stacked right now. So it's
So one thing,
crazy.
I want to say this now. We're on week 4. I'm gonna say this before the Super Bowl, and I don't know if there's a hot take. Probably not, but I'm gonna say we're gonna see a team in the Super Bowl this year that nobody is expecting, just because that's how this NFL season is, the same way it was last year.
Look at the Bengals.
No one saw the Bengals.
Yeah, nobody saw them.
It's going to be just like that this year, and maybe the next couple seasons to come until we really see one of those teams that just dominates week after week after week.
All right, fuck it, let's call it. All right, Super Bowl predictions. Let's get them out of the way. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go Eagles.
Okay.
I don't know. This is tough. I think the Eagles for sure.
Okay.
Those are like that's my powerhouse team right now. If there was that one team that everyone
Mine's the Bills, 100%.
Eagles Raiders.
Eagles Raiders. There's no way. That'd be fucking nuts.
Eagles Raiders.
Because I think the Raiders take that Super Bowl.
And the Raiders win. That's gonna be my prediction now.
Bro,
That's
you know
my
how
hot
legendary
take.
that would be for Derek Carr? That makes him like a...
I'm gonna say the Raiders lose this week.
Okay.
I think I picked them to win.
They start
but just
0-4.
for this Super Bowl story, because it's gonna be a 30 for 30 in 20 years from now, and it's gonna be on Netflix.
I mean, you see the team
they're
they
gonna
have.
start 0-6. 0-6. Take a wild card,
Pull off the rest of the 10.
and then then 10 straight,
Yep.
and sweep
And
it,
continue.
and sweep it to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then the Eagles
Okay.
are gonna lose one game this year, so they're gonna be the powerhouse team. One loss going into the Super Bowl against the 0-6 starting Raiders,
Okay.
and the Raiders win by 40 points.
That's a good take. Alright, so my side, I got AFC Bills. I think this is their year. They don't win it this year. I don't think they're the team that everyone thinks they are. If they can't go to the Super Bowl this year,
With the talent they have,
yeah, it's like, come on.
they're not going to do it if they
Yeah.
can't do it this
Like,
year.
they can't do it this year, they're not going to do it. They just don't, that means they just don't have the coaching or something's just wrong with the team. I got the Bills going, 100%. And then, NFC, I don't have the Eagles going. I think Jalen Hurts, we haven't seen him in the playoffs yet.
49ers.
I mean, I guess he made that wild card, but they lost
Yeah.
right away. But, could be 49ers. Could be. Jimmy hits his stride.
You've seen him do it every year, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, he took me to the championship
Like
last year.
3 NFC championships, the playoffs every season. Like it's not a wild take to take the 49ers.
It's not.
Because
Not with Jimmy.
Not with Jimmy at all.
I just think, like, fuck, not having that offseason is really going to hurt him this year. Because I think it hurt any quarterback.
I think it's better for him. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because instead of hitting the weight room every day, eating salads 6 times a day, he was out banging porn stars.
Birds,
Doing coke.
It's true.
Like this dude was, it's clear in his mindset.
Yeah.
It's not so much pressure, football this, football that. It's double D's this, little white snow that.
The
You know
best
what I'm
training you
saying?
can get.
Like that just gives him this clarity going into the season.
He was doing real training. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It was just a spiritual training.
Okay.
And so I think it helps him in the long run. You know, I would go as far as say he wins MVP this year. I think
Jimmy
comes
Graham.
back.
He just doesn't even have the pull. He can throw for 1,000 fucking touchdowns.
If he goes the rest of the season, throws 50 touchdowns.
He's not gonna.
You don't think he wins it?
No, 100%. He just doesn't have the. He doesn't have the crowd around him yet. It takes like a couple seasons for like to get that bandwagon going. Like Mahomes like last year, Mahomes didn't even have that great of a year. He had like a stretch where they were losing like 4 games in a row. It's all because he was throwing dumb like interceptions. But they're still saying like, oh, he's the front runner, just because he has that like fucking that fan base just built. So I think if Jimmy had like a couple years like that, then yeah, he'd be able to get it. That's why I think Josh Allen's just gonna get it, just because now like he's had consecutive seasons like that.
Yeah.
So all right, I got Bills, and then I'm gonna take. I just gotta take Brady. This is last year. This is Brady's last year. We are not seeing the GOAT play
This is last year.
after this. Like, just not seeing Brady on the field anymore. I need Brady to win another chip, and I think he goes and he beats the young buck Josh Allen. He beat Mahomes.
It's not a bad take.
And he's gonna go and beat Josh Allen.
It's not a bad take, but
and he's just gonna fucking 8 rings. He's gonna fuck Giselle on the fucking Super Bowl parade.
Shove the Lombardi
Yeah. Like, dude, if Brady can pull off a win, like another Super Bowl ring, like he's the greatest athlete.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I just love to see it. Like, especially his last season. NFL, if you're scripted, bro, give him the dub. Give him another.
That's true. All right. Well, I think that's a solid session right there. So let's wrap this up. We are going to cover Week 5 next podcast. Talk about a few of the Week 4 bangers that I'm sure you guys will watch tomorrow. And as usual, thank you guys for listening in. We are going to be posting another video shortly with the bullshitting with the boys. If you guys haven't checked those videos out yet, make sure you check it out because they're fucking hilarious. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment on the videos down below, and we'll catch you guys next time.